It's time for the challenge of the month.
G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza, and this video is the showcase and the announcement of the winners to the January 2017 Challenge of the Month. And the theme of the Challenge of the Month was entitled Legend of the Axe. Specifically, oh shit, oh my god. I shouldn't be trusted with weapons. I literally chopped my Cintiq with the legendary axe. The theme of this challenge of the month was entitled Legendary Axe, and this axe was designed by me in a video which I did in collaboration with the folks over at Punished Props, who made the legendary axe, which actually, as I designed it, splits up into two axes, a little axe and a big axe. I have very few words to describe how cool this thing is, so please go check out the collab video we did. I'll put the link in the description, and their video where they put it together, and go subscribe to them to check out some more awesome stuff, because they are awesome. So for the theme of the challenge of the month, I thought I would wrap up the whole creative endeavor embarked upon creating this axe by inviting the community to create a story around it. Participants were required to create an original illustration depicting this specific axe design in a scenario or with a person that tells a good visual story. There were a huge amount of entries, and it was so exciting to go through them all and see the amazing time and talent and enthusiasm people have put into this challenge of the month. So please go check out the slideshow with the link in the card that shows all of the entries. Unfortunately, they can't all fit in this video, but I highly recommend going to check out that slideshow and enjoy all the amazing talent that people contributed. But without further ado, let's jump into the showcase of the entries to the January 2017 Challenge of the Month. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Something about holding giant props makes me feel like a child. I'm excited to present to you the showcase for the 2017 January Challenge of the Month, the Legend of the Axe. Artist JPCOPT's entry has a really cool adventurous and epic feel with nice sepia tones. Chill Texan's depiction of a warrior fighting a giant beast has an epic feeling of scale to it with really nice attention to detail. Artist Yer's illustration of a group of adventurers coming across the legendary axe is really well lit and has very clever use of lighting and textured effects with the crystal on top of the axe. Zach's entry shows the legendary axe as a bit of a family heirloom shown in a family portrait style piece. I love the way the steampunk aesthetic has been carried across with the character designs here. Mossy Rabbit's entry is called Visiting, with a really nice strong character aesthetic here. Great line work and colouring and tone, with the biting cold of the winter showing through really well. Crickety's piece is quite simplistic but very effective, with good use of strong silhouette on the character figures here, with a subtle inner glow on the character's silhouette and really nice strong pose. John the artist's piece Father and Son Blacksmith has a great adventurous feel to it, with lots of other axe designs on the walls to show that the legendary axe is part of a family of legendary axes. And Tatarat's scene called Just a Little Further has an epic depiction of an adventurer facing the horizon, the distant goal within their sight and the legendary axe by their side. Really nice colour palette here and effective use of composition. Artist A93 created a piece showing an alien type race confronting a primitive sort of race, among the mix of which is the legendary axe, where the tides of battle will of course be turned by whomever controls the axe. MW Art's piece has a really cool colour tone and aesthetic, with a bit of a murky feel to the piece overall that gives it a really nice handcrafted feel and unique visual appeal. The artist Jay's entry has great use of lightning effects and lighting, effective windy aesthetic, and a really cool sense of scale with a distant foe looming. Sassrock's 1111 shows a piece again with the legendary act being something of a family heirloom, with the narrative of its history being told really well in almost a graphic novel style inlay of circular aspects telling the story of her history while she holds a locket. Floppy Cass's piece called Storytime has a great whimsical feel to it and a really appealing steampunk anime aesthetic. Clean lines, shading and colour overall, and a really effective entry. Oliver Ben GTS Son's piece called Legends Are Meant to Lead shows an awesome warrior about to lead the charge into battle. I really like the character design here, and the pose is very strong. The axe doesn't overwhelm the image but is instead complemented by and complements the design of the piece and the overall composition. General Bloodrain's piece called The Collector shows really nice comic book style of a warrior reaching up to wield the legendary axe on a wall adorned with his other weapons, armor, and of course, former foes. goes. Miss Mysterious created a piece called Origins of the Legendary Axe. This is one of those pieces that's just so easy to look at and just wander around in and get lost in. Gorgeous use of color and lighting, and the atmosphere of the piece and the sense of presence is really effective. Raz Van C's piece of the Legendary Axe being unearthed or melted through ice or crystal with lasers inside this cavernous area has such a cool sense of atmosphere, and even though the piece is in black and white, it really does effectively make you feel like you're part of this scene and you can see this story being told and this legend being unearthed. Shoefly Loop's piece Wrath of the Axe is such a cool steampunk, ultra epic piece. I love the way that the rich golds and hyper blues of the piece clash and create a really cutting and appealing aesthetic. Baby Life created a piece called Divide and Conquer, and I love the concept that the legendary axe is wielded by robots whose heads pop out and steal the smaller half of the axe to then march into battle with the body. BB Have Fun 1 created a piece called Astrid and the Guardian Spirit of the Axe, and a really nice mix of hues with the blues and greens of the environment and a touch of the sapphire and warm tones in the armor of the characters. Bidium created a piece called Demon versus the Axe, an epic sense of scale, fantastic polished line work and character art. Shaquille Sadler's piece Man of the House Now has a lot of attention to detail, in particular through the rain and texture of the scene overall. And last but not least, Arion 1 created a piece called Taking Back What's Ours, another really simple but extremely effective composition. The axe looks stunning, and yet the subtle shading and silhouette of the character in the foreground holding the power spheres that end up going into the axe to power it are really effective in communicating a really cool story and a sense of impending action. Some incredible entries there, and I'm so grateful to everyone, including these people who have participated. Now it's time to move on to prize categories, and there are two categories that people can enter: the beginner category and the open category. The beginner category is specifically reserved for people who are quite young or very inexperienced and new to art. And each month I select a runner-up and a winner of the beginner category, which I'm excited to present to you now. And the runner-up to the beginner category is artist Tail C. Gina, who used interesting techniques of mixing layered paper placement through cutouts, has really nice use of colours and effective composition, and a really cool sense of story and epic aesthetic and adventure in the traditional piece. And the winner of the beginner category is artist Aulia Audrey with a piece called After Battle. This artist captured a really great sense of whimsy and charm. There's nice use of colours and effective use of detail, but overall what captured me about this piece was the incredible effective use of storytelling. You can see the battle in the background, and yet it isn't overwhelming and doesn't affect the way you feel about the charming scene between these two characters playing with the legendary axe. Congratulations, the runner-up to the beginner category will receive an item of their choosing from the JAZZA'Studios.com shop. By the way, a huge thank you to everyone who supported the JAZZA'Studios.com shop during the sale in January. It was a massive help because ad revenue on YouTube more than halved, so it really helped counterbalance that. And a quick reminder that the archives, both the artwork archive and the tutorial archive, have been updated, so they now contain all of the artwork and tutorial reference files from 2016. And the winner of the beginner category will receive a signed copy of my How to Draw book, Draw with Jazza, Creating Characters. The book is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble and a few other stores, and is an in-depth guide into the character design and character creation process. Going through my 4 steps of the design process, provides examples of each of these steps and all of them combined in the process in a few different scenarios. So now on to the prize winners of the open category. For the open category, I select a first prize and a runner-up winner, but I also give all of the finalists a prize as well. This month, all of the finalists will be receiving a free copy of my custom Photoshop brushes available on the JAZZA'Studios.com shop. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely excited to present to you the open category finalists for this month. Artist Yori of the Castle depicted a very narrative-driven scene with extremely strong use of lighting, especially the contrasting sharp blues and hot reds. Our attention is directed in several areas without being overwhelmed while we're centered and focused on the central character. Eon's piece called Danger Lurking has a grand feeling of motion and epic adventure. Character design is cool and the pose is extremely ambitious, but the tone conveyed through the piece and the way we feel part of the action is a captivating and well-executed accomplishment. Artist IC Zial created a piece called Space Mercenaries, full of action, and we can see a lot of detail and motion here, but again, our eye is led very cleverly in the direction of the action itself by using the legendary axe and some extreme foreshortening through the character holding it and then heading towards the foe. foe. Jelly Art's piece has such a cool tone and clean line work with effective and ambitious asymmetrical composition. I love the rim lighting on the character and the way the warmth on the light bounces and sort of heats up around the areas that it hits in strongest. The character design of the robot is super cool as well, and the piece, while not overwhelmed with detail, is clean and effective and really helps guide the eye in exactly the right directions. Artist Althea created a piece called Only One Shot at This, an epic space opera style composition with a strange alien creature holding the legendary axe. I love the angle of the character and the way our attention is directed around the piece, yet focused and centered on the character and in particular on the axe. Artist Threeden's piece called The Discovery has a real charm about it. Now, I will call this artist out and say you are not a beginner category entrant. That being said, I couldn't not include this in the finalists and show it off because it really is an astounding piece. But don't you dare Artist 3D and enter the beginner category again. Just because you're young doesn't mean that this piece can't hit with the big boys. Artist 3D Smile's piece What a Find has such nice texture and use of detail and a really nice aesthetic clash in the way we almost feel like we're mixing Aliens and The Hobbit. I love the charm and the desaturated tone of the piece in general. Artist Electrix's piece has great atmosphere and lighting, nice effects coming from the axe, and a really cool character design of the Amazon-style queen holding the legendary axe. Artist The Rabid Werewolf's piece called The Celestial Warrior has astounding detail and gorgeous, smooth painting. The hair of the central character in this piece is absolutely stunning, and the lighting overall and the detail is really something to behold. Fantastic work. Artist Emerald Phoenix's piece called Guardian Angel shows a heroine reaching up and perhaps claiming or holding in victory an axe where she had obviously fought a giant robot behind her. The fallen robot is extremely detailed and well painted, and yet really subtle and not overt. Really, the attention is very clearly focused on the weapon itself and the main character. I should also mention the flag waving in the wind and the wings of the character are astoundingly painted. Did I mention judging these competitions is extremely difficult? Because I should have, and I usually do, but here goes. Judging this competition is extremely difficult, and it's heartbreaking. The finalists for this challenge of the month were so good and so hard to pick the winners from. But as usual, the challenge of the month is judged by me, and the winner and runner-up are my preferences based on 3 criteria that I announced at the start of the competition. Those being 1, the technical execution or the quality of the art, 2, the effective use of visual narrative, telling a clear story through the visuals of the image, and 3, the creativity and ambition of the artwork. And it is out of those 3 criterion that I have selected the winner and the runner-up to the challenge of the month. And the open category runner-up is artist Gavin Winfred with a piece called Gate to the Heavens. This piece almost reminds me of the cover of an epic fantasy novel, with the right side of the piece looking like something that would be on a front cover and the left side something on a back cover. But more than that, the story conveyed through this adventurer, be they good or evil, mirroring and harnessing the power of this ancient being or deity, is incredibly well conveyed. The sepia tones and the overall subtle painting articulates the overall theme and well-executed composition of the piece. Fantastic work. Congratulations, the open category runner-up will receive a signed copy of the new Illustrator's Guidebook by 21 Draw, as well as a Stillman & Byrne 9x12 Epsilon Series sketchbook and an item of their choosing from the JAZZA'Studios.com shop. And the winner of the challenge of the month is artist Dan from Bavaria with a piece called All Legends Grow Pale. Now, as far as what entrants of the challenge of the month have been judged on, the technical execution of this piece is absolutely stunning. In a traditional piece full of detail yet not overwhelming, with a composition that effectively guides the eye yet allows you to wander and enjoy the piece. But beyond that, the story that's being told here is so vivid and so unique and captivating that it just blew me away. Yes, it's the story of a legendary axe, but one that sort of catches you off guard a little bit, because the axe, while still legendary, is surrounded by mundanity and forgotten in times long before, and yet we as the viewer feel that perhaps there's a story to know about where the axe came from, or what it's been through, or perhaps what's going to happen. A gorgeous concept, extremely well executed, and a well-deserving winner of the first prize of the challenge of the month. The winner of the open category will receive a medium WACOM Intuos Pro tablet. This device is absolutely top of the line, amazing quality, incredible levels of pressure sensitivity, custom short keys, wireless capabilities, so on and so forth. I highly recommend Wacom and all of their products. Please click the link on the screen, in the card, or in the description. Seriously, they're awesome. Go check them out. The first place winners of both the open and the beginner categories will receive 1 year's full supporter status on NEWGROUNDS.com, allowing for ad-free enjoyment of the website, username changes, secret content, exclusive previews, and more. Now let me just take a moment to highlight something pretty monumental to me. This is sort of a historic win. This is the first ever Challenge of the Month where the first prize of the overall competition has been a traditional entry. And I'm really excited about this because I get so many people saying, I can't win or I don't want to enter because people with tablets will win the tablet, but I don't have a tablet, so I might as well not try. That is not true. Art is art, and you can create something powerful and impactful and impressive like this artist did. Never let yourself get held back out of fear or the expectation that you won't succeed, because then you just won't succeed. So a huge props to Dan from Bavaria, our first prize winner, for setting such an amazing example and creating such an incredible piece. So as usual, a huge thank you to the sponsors of the Challenge of the Month. I don't include a sponsor in the Challenge of the Month unless I absolutely love what they do. And these are products and services that I use and stand by and love, and I'm excited that they're a part of this challenge with us. I want to take a moment also to thank John Bailey, also known as the Epic Voice Guy, who you might have heard from the Honest Trailers on Smosh Games and over at Screen Junkies. Is an amazing voice actor and a really funny guy who has a YouTube channel where he does epic voice reviews among other awesome things. So a huge thank you to John for providing the Challenge of the Month voiceover. Go on over to his channel, click the link on the card and in the description to check out the Epic Voice Guy's YouTube channel. So that brings us to the end of this Challenge of the Month, ladies and gentlemen. The prize winners can check their inbox on Newgrounds to see how to claim their prizes. And of course, I have to give one final plug to the folks over at Punish Props. They're amazing craftspeople and super nice people who have been long-time supporters of this channel and are just all-round creative, awesome people. So please go check out their stuff. I gotta be honest, I can't help but feel a little bit smug and selfish after all this, because I feel like I'm the overall winner because I get to keep this thing, which is super cool. And especially after all those amazing entries to the Challenge of the Month, I feel like this thing has been on so many adventures and part of so many epic tales. So this is now going to be mounted on the wall in JAZZA'S Studios with pride. A huge thank you to everyone who has participated. I hope you had a blast, and of course, make sure to stay tuned for next week when I announce the theme of the February Challenge of the Month, which will be a secret until then. But I'm very excited for it, and I highly recommend not missing out because it's going to be a landmark one. Thanks so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and until next time, I'll see you later. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos. And while you're at it, check out my shop where I sell ebooks, brushes, photo references, video courses, and more. There's another video you might enjoy from my channel over there, and you can also check out my behind-the-scenes daily vlog channel, Daily Jazza. That's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you later.